And we are off to the top 4 of the Planetary Qualifier Leiden. Again, a big thank you and shout out to the Tafel Ridder for organizing this amazing event, and I hope to see them get another shot at a big event in the near future. For this game, we are going to see Han face off against Ray. Han is being navigated by Rent and Ray by Jasper. Personally, I haven't played Ray myself, but I am a big fan of Han and I covered it in a recent deck tech video, so do check that one out after you're done watching all the PQ footage. From playing Han versus Ray myself though, I find that the discard control variant of the deck is quite a challenge because you want to keep high value threats in your hand while continuously putting stuff in your resource every single turn, so you have these ready for the late game. But since Ray can force you to discard quite a bit, your threats get removed and it makes it a little bit inconsistent to have a good value plan against the deck. Ray starts with the priority this game, making it extra difficult for Han, and we see Ray starting off with an R2D2 play and checking the top card of the deck. Han follows this up by playing a Sabine. Ray taps, giving the R2 an experience token, which gives Han the opportunity to claim the initiative and after turn number 2. Han decides to go aggro and dealing 3 damage to Ray's base. Ray buffs the R2 a second time, and now we are going to see Han activating to get K2SO on the field a turn early. Ray decides that Sabine is a higher priority target to clear and gets rid of it, giving Han a window to yet again claim priority. Ray activates Darken Town, removing the K2SO, and Han goes for the discard on defeat. Ray finally plays a Sabine of their own, and on turn 3, Han starts off by hardcasting a Kanan, a solid 4-5 attacker that can potentially help to gain some life back on the base if needed. And we see the first pillage of the game being played. Luckily, Han has 3 cards in hand at this point, so they're able to keep their best threat in hand to play at a future turn. But it's still a massive net value for Ray to play that card. Forced Throw and the Redemption are being discarded, and Han claims the initiative while R2D2 attacks into Kanan for 3 damage, and Sabine trades, allowing 1 damage to go to the base. Han leads off the turn by playing their own pillage, but unfortunately Ray is left with a bow in hand that they can then play out. On flips, Ray takes the initiative and Han swings into the pole for 3 damage. Ray attacks the base for 5 and decides not to activate Poe. Han force throws the last card out of Ray's hand. Ray flips, Han plays a Poe of their own, and Ray takes the initiative. A solid play because now they can potentially trade the Poe with the opponents in the follow-up turn. At the start of the turn, I think I saw Ray resource attack, so that one might end up putting quite a bit of work later on. Yeah, we do say the Poe being traded, and Han responds by activating and going for Luke Skywalker, defeating Ray and gaining back some momentum. Obi-Wan comes down though, and Han claims the initiative. Han starts the turn by swinging into the Obi-Wan, taking some damage in return and healing 3 after base. Ray clears to Luke with Make an Opening. At this point of the game, I think it is looking very good for Han though. Yoda comes down for just 2 resources, and Ray does end up playing that tech that went into resources earlier. Han decides to smuggle Cassian. Ray takes the initiative, and Cassian attacks for 3 damage into tech. Strangely, Ray decides to trade tech into Yoda instead of using its value engine though, but it does stop Yoda from getting the restore 2 off, so maybe it was a good play after all. Han attacks with the Cassian into the base, and Ray plays a K2SO. Some true betrayal going on in this game. Han plays another Poe, Ray plays a Sabine, and Han claims the initiative, giving Ray a window of opportunity to put some experience counters on Sabine. Cassian starts off by attacking the base for 3, and Ray clears it with K2SO, leaving the droid alive with just 1 health and spiking a little bit of damage. Poe attacks the base, but Han does not trigger its effect, likely wanting to avoid K2SO's discard effect. Sabine attacks Poe for 3 damage and 1 to the base, and Han plays a vanilla 5/6 flyer Desperado Frighter. Ray now plays Mace Windu, ambushing the Poe off the board and readying Mace with some health left to spare, potentially being able to spike 5 damage into Han's base later on. Han plays another Cassian from Smuggle, which is readied, and we see Mace attacking into the base for that value. Han claims the initiative instead of attacking with Ender though, so that might mean that they have an Obi-Wan or something ready in hand. Carabast being played instead though, leaving Under alive. At this point we can see Ray considering to play a Grey Dragon, which could be an incredibly tough thing for Han to deal with. They decide to go through with it, but unfortunately for them, Han does have a Rival's Fall ready to clear it off the board. Ray decides to use the Grey Dragon's trigger to get rid of the Cassian, and K2SO then attacks the base. The fighter attacks Ray's base and Ray claims the initiative. The damage total is now standing at 15-18 at this point. The game could still swing both ways. Ray opens fire on the spaceship to get it off the board, gaining back board control. Han plays an Obi-Wan of their own, making it very tough for Ray since there's no proper way for them to clear it this turn. Kanan Jarrus comes down and Han activates to play another K2SO. Ray decides to just claim the initiative. Ray starts out by playing Luke, a beautiful play because it makes it a bit awkward for Obi-Wan since it has no target to give the experience counters to. Obi-Wan swings into the base and then Ray suddenly decides to scoop. I am not sure why, because I would assume that with Luke on the board it is definitely a chance for a comeback. Maybe I'm missing something here, but I thought that the restore 3 would be enough to keep them alive for quite a bit. But we have a victory for Han, so let's hop on to game number 2. Game number 2, Ray starts off by playing R2-D2, very similar to the last game, and Han plays a Sabine. Ray gives an experience token to the R2 and Han claims the initiative. Han starts off by dealing 3 damage into the base, and Ray plays a Sabine of their own. Han puts down a Yoda full health, and Ray puts another experience counter on R2. Han claiming the initiative, giving Ray a window to clean Sabine off the board and getting to peek at the top with R2-D2. Han starts off with a force throw, which not only will force Ray to discard a card, but because Yoda is a force unit, they get to deal damage equal to the cost of that card to the R2. Open fire gets rid of Yoda and responds, and Han plays out Kanan with Han's ability as a 4-3 attacker. Ray uses Tarkentown to clear the Kanan off the board straight away though. Han claims the initiative and Ray loads Sabine up with an experience counter prior to attacking into the base with both R2 and Sabine. Ray ends up making a bit of a misplay here, triggering R2's effect a second time when attacking with Sabine, but luckily the judge and Rance end up catching it in time, so the game state can be fixed. Han starts the turn by deploying and Ray swings into the base with Sabine for 4. Han uses his ability to deploy Obi-Wan, making it once again difficult for Ray to attack in. Poe comes down and Han claims the initiative. We see R2 swinging into Obi-Wan for 3 damage, leaving it at 1 health left, but next turn Sabine can potentially clear it with the on-attack trigger. Fel the Dragon takes care of Poe, but that does leave Obi-Wan vulnerable to Sabine. Han gets buffed and Yoda comes down. Ray plays a Yoda of their own and Han decides to get rid of Sabine now that they have the chance. Yoda gets an experience counter from Ray's activation and Han claims the initiative. Force throw is played. This can be a game deciding play right here because both cards in Han's hand have a significant cost. Ray decides to put the damage on Han, which does not clear it thanks to the experience counters, and then Ray deploys, attacking the base, giving itself experience. In the next turn, Han attacks Ray for 5, Ray swings into the base for 3, and Yoda trades with Ray, restoring 2 health off the base. Ray's Yoda also swings the base and restores a bit of health as well. Everything went according to Han's plan though, because now they can play the Guerrilla attack part, and since they have 5 damage onto the base already, the attack part will come into play ready. Ray uses it to clear it off the board straight away though. There's a lot of back and forth in this game. Han claims the initiative and will off to the next round. Starting off with the Grey Dragon, however, sitting at 18 damage on the base, I don't think Ray is particularly going to care and just gonna continue swinging. We straight away see Luke swing for 6, putting the base at 24 damage. Yoda attacks the Grey Dragon for 3, and takedown does get rid of the Grey Dragon, a play I did not expect myself. And Han now needs removal or some sort of life gain, otherwise Luke can finish the game in the follow-up turn. Bracket is played, an experience counter is added onto it, and now let's see if Han has an answer. And it looks like they do. They smuggle out a Chewbacca, clearing the Luke off the board and leaving behind only a 3 damage attacker. Ray spends 1 resource to buff the bracket once again, and Han claims the initiative while the bracket swings for 4. Tech is smuggled into play, giving Ray 2 threats that can finish off the game, and I believe with Han not having any way to remove 2 things at once, they are probably dead in the water. But no, they are not. They go ahead and heal 8 damage off the base by playing Redemption at just the right moment, going back to 20 damage. Rifles fall, clears Chewbacca off the board, Yoda comes down with 2 damage on it, and Ray gives a counter to the regional officer and starts attacking the base with the bracket. Han decides to scoop at this point because there's no way for them to get the board back under control, nor did they have any way to deal 25 damage at this point. So off to game number 3 we go, with Han having the initiative. Han decides to just straight away claim the initiative with no play on turn 1, giving Ray space to play a bracket and giving it an experience counter. Turn 2, Han does play a K2SO with 2 damage counters on it, having it on the field a turn early, and Ray swings into the base while Han claims the initiative. Ray uses Dark in Town to clear K2SO, and then force throws a card into the discard. Yoda comes down, and at this point it looks like Ray is once again gaining the momentum while Han is playing a game of catch-up. Han plays a pillage, forcing a double discard but still leaving Ray with the best card in the hand and a full board state. K2SO comes down, Han claims the initiative and takes 5 to the base. Han starts the turn by playing Poe, but unfortunately Poe does not do anything when entering, leaving Han yet again vulnerable for another turn of attacks. K2 attacks for 4, Han deploys, Ray gives an experience token to Yoda, and Han swings for 3 into the bracket. Not enough to clear it though, but at least putting some damage onto it. Ray decides to play the safe game though, and starts swinging into the pole with both the bracket and Yoda while Han claims the initiative. Sabine comes down, followed by a regional officer naming Luke Skywalker, and Han starts off by clearing Sabine off the board. Ray responds by clearing Han with K2SO and dealing some leak damage. Han is now waiting to reach 15 damage to the base for the gorilla play, so it keeps passing priority while Ray gives experience counters and keeps attacking into the base for 2 while also playing an R2. Now when there's 15 damage on the base, Han plays the gorilla attack bot, which comes into play ready, and Ray plays a Fang Fighter while Han clears R2 off the board. Ray takes the initiative. The next turn, Ray starts with a 4 damage to the base and putting Han at 19. The attack bot clears the regional officer, allowing Luke to be played once again at its normal cost. The Fang Fighter attacks the base, inching closer to the finish line, and now passes, and Ray claims the initiative. Not really sure why they passed at this point. I think they could have played something, but it was late. Maybe somebody made a misplay at this point of time. Ray attacks with K2SO for 4 and decides to play a Grey Dragon for 8. Fang Fighter attacks for 3, putting Han at 29 damage. And Han passes, aim claims, and that is pretty much the end of the top 4 game. Jasper emerges victorious with Ray and passes on into the finals against Mikolash that won the feature game in the top 8. If you liked this video, leave a comment down below and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Also feel free to click on the videos on the screen right now so you can jump into the finals game straight away and see who is going to be the champion of the Leiden Planetary Qualifier of 2024.